drunk did you guys get last week? The drinking episode of PKA.
Too drunk to drive, probably. I really am a lightweight. I only had those 4 beers or whatever. That's enough to get me pretty drunk.
It's hard to measure. So I didn't make my own drinks, but Jackie, like she said, she was being selfish with the cream and the milk, so she was giving me like a lot of Kahlua. So they were strongish drinks, I guess. And what's that?
Please go on.
So I don't know if other people obsess about everything, but I do, and I'm like, am I drunk enough? Am I faking? And like, I remember we did a PKA, a drinking one from paintball one time, and in my head, I'm like, I'm not drunk at all. I'm just in a good mood. But I had a shoe on my head as we did the thing. Like I just did the podcast with the shoe on my head, and I look back in that, I'm like, I was definitely drunk. I don't do that shit when I'm sober. It was a drunken episode. And yeah, last week I was like, I don't think I'm drunk, but I am sweating a lot and my face is somewhat numb. And the ceiling fan is oddly entertaining, but I'm not drunk.
I say next time we do some shots. And like not too many, not to excess. Nobody's gonna get alcohol poisoning, but maybe we do like 2 shots in the course of a half-hour period, and then follow that up with maybe 2 more. So we're doing like maybe 3-4 shots an hour. I feel like
that will not go. That'll be a 2-hour show.
yeah, that'll be great. I also agree with it. I think that a drinking episode should inherently be rather short because at the end we shouldn't really be capable of carrying on a good show. We should all be pretty fucked up.
I thought last week's episode was like top 5, top 10% in the first half, and I wasn't sure how the second half was. You know, because to me, like, you know, I'm sitting like this, and you know, like it doesn't. But there were other people who thought the second half was the prize of the show, and that, you know, just us unscripted was
not able to do basic mathematics and stuff.
I was good at the math. I was like crushing it.
Were you?
Yeah. There was something it was like some percentage.
It was the percentage of the weight loss. Yeah, you were right about that. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, and somehow I was like, well, you know, like it was 204, I think, and. So I was like, 204 is roughly 210, and it was like 7 pounds of 204. So I knew that the answer was going, like, the answer was going to, 14 pounds of 204. So I knew the answer was roughly going to involve like a 2/3 something, and 66% was way too much. It just didn't pass the sniff test, and I backed it down to 6%, and I don't know. I did all that in like 1 second. I was like, wow, maybe better drunk man.
See, my brain, I got like 3 steps into that, and I was like, this is stupid, fuck this. And then I just waited for Woody to come up with an answer.
Yeah.
But I got decently buzzed for it. Would have been drunker if it wasn't spanned over 4 hours. Because I had 5.5 during the show, I think.
What knife?
Maybe I finished the 6th one, I don't remember.
This is the knife my dad got me when I was like 12. It's they folded 2 kinds of steel together. So it's got these like...
That's really neat.
Yeah.
It is.
And it's got like a deer carved into it.
Have you ever cut a deer with it?
No, I've never skinned a deer, actually. Never done that. I watched my dad do it once, and it didn't look fun.
I've watched it on YouTube. I've seen people who are amazingly good at it. But typically, they're not like teaching you how. They're just showing how good they are. So they're like, zippity zap, zoop, 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 zoop. Like 15 seconds and the deer is skinned. I'm like, well, I didn't see that.
Thanks for the help.
Yeah. I still don't know how.
Yeah, there's definitely a trick to it. I watched him do it, and I did not enjoy that. And I think I got sick, a little bit sick. I was pretty young at the time. It just smelled bad. He might have even punctured the intestines or something like that. Maybe he wasn't that great at it either.
I do have this truck fever. Circling back to that topic, I think about it.
Well, pull the trigger, Wings. Make it happen.
That's an irresponsible decision.